CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. More evidence that the cost of living continues to rise in Calgary. New data today shows the living wage for our city is now $26.50 per hour, roughly $2 more than last year. A living wage is the hourly wage a worker needs to cover their basic expenses and maintain a modest standard of living. Vibrant Communities Calgary says transportation, childcare and food costs continue to climb, but housing costs have begun to stabilize. Calgary's living wage is now 77% higher than Alberta's minimum wage.
For Calgarians, that can mean an extra $400 per week. Earning a living wage can really mean the difference between living and just getting by and living well.
Calgary now has the third highest living wage in Alberta, following Jasper and Airdrie. The MLA for Airdrie East is accusing the constituent who launched a recall petition against her of abusing his job as a school principal. Angela Pitt has not submitted a member statement for the recall petition. Instead, she's issued an open letter. Pitt accuses Derek Keenan as being motivated by the government's handling of the teachers' strike. Keenan says it's not the teachers' dispute he takes issue with, it's Pitt's lack of communication with constituents. He says he hasn't been advertising his role as principal to avoid the political nature it would imply. A new report out of the University of Calgary shows domestic violence rates continue to rise. The study focused on data from Cochrane RCMP. Between 2020 and 2024, domestic violence incidents in that area increased by 59%. Of the 668 total charges laid, 78% were against men. Assault and assault with a weapon or assault causing bodily harm were the most common offenses. The study offers recommendations aimed at addressing the increases and stopping the violence.
Every Albertan needs to build their skills and awareness around understanding the issue and then how to lean in and to provide support, not only to victims, but how do we disrupt this behavior with men and young boys?
And the U of C study echoes what's happening in the rest of the province. Statistics Canada found between 2022 and 2023, Alberta had one of the highest rates of intimate partner violence in Canada, behind Saskatchewan and Manitoba. A youth was taken to hospital in life-threatening condition after a fight with his brother. It happened yesterday afternoon at a home in the southwest community of Glamorgan. Police say because the boys are youths, the identities of those involved are protected. It also means details will remain limited. Soccer players in Calgary have a new place to play, and the group behind it says it will be a game changer. The Calgary Villains Soccer Dome in the southeast was inflated this morning. The facility will include one full-size 11 versus 11 pitch and 5 smaller pitches. Soccer officials say the space is badly needed and other teams will be able to use it too.
We'll offer it to clubs to train in. We'll offer it for Calgary Minor Soccer, Calgary Women's, Calgary United, the men's program, to just have facilities year-round. We need it. We're in winter 6 months, 7 months out of the year. And also on top of the smoke and the rain, we can go inside and have a good surface every day.
Campbell says the organization first started planning for the dome 5.5 years ago. A major beauty chain has launched a new makeup line created by someone who grew up in Calgary. Hung Van Gogh always liked beauty and fashion, but never imagined having his makeup in the mall he used to visit each week. As a child, his family escaped Vietnam to a refugee camp in Thailand before moving to Calgary soon after. His career started at a Calgary hair salon before he switched to makeup, quickly becoming coveted by celebrities and now launching his own brand across Canada and the United States.
This is quite surreal, you know. Calgary is home for me. I brought up here, and seeing my own brand as Sephora is like it's a wider dream, you know.
Each makeup item is named for a moment in his journey, including the refugee camp where he stayed and Calgary's area code 403. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.